Hey guys, this is Baleography. I figured we'd do my usual traditional yearly update video. Usually I'd have one of these things scripted, but I mean, I'm not even sure if the last ones were scripted, but I think this time I'm going to go unscripted just because I've got a lot to say, and I'd rather get this out as quickly as possible, and I just don't want to dwell on it too much. I'd rather get back to the big things I'm actually working on, so I figured I'd just talk real quick. As long as I need to, and get it all out there. So pardon the freeform nature of this. But hey, how's it going? It's been a while, hasn't it? You know, I'm not gone. I clearly am not gone. Like, there's still uploads coming out occasionally, but 2024 was I said a lot of things in that 2024 update video of what was going to happen and how it was going to be like this big, super massive, incredible year, and that didn't end up happening. Like, 2024 was by and large my worst year for YouTube yet. And to be fair, that's almost entirely self-inflicted. Like, I felt like I put out some pretty solid videos but in that time, but they were really spaced apart, and they didn't really focus on, like, what my audience... Like, you know, I try to go outside my usual comfort zone. Not my comfort zone, but like what my channel would usually talk about. And mainly with the Pick Month videos. And, you know, they did alright. Well, two of them did alright, two of them crashed and burned, but again, I feel like a lot of it was self-inflicted. I'm not, like, gonna be like, oh, the YouTube algorithm hates me, because I've been not the most productive, I'll fully admit. I'm sorry about that. My job is kind of sucking the life out of me.
Here we go.
You know, my financial situation hasn't really improved at all, which, you know, I'm sure a lot of people can relate to that, but it just kind of sucks for me to admit that, because it's true, you know, and I just have to play with the cards I'm handed. I'm dealt, you know, both. But I'm not trying to get, you know, super doom and gloom about this. The point is it's a new year. It's, you know, I've come to accept that, you know, my super starry-eyed vision of what, you know, 2024 was going to be was ideal but unrealistic. So I'm here to set more realistic expectations while simultaneously promising. Making promises that I can do a better job of keeping. And really, the big thing is that I want this to be a year where I put out some really good content, where regardless of what you regardless of what you subscribe for, regardless of what you're here for, I'm fine with who, you know, if you only watch one thing or the other, I'm totally fine with that. There's no judgment here. But if you're here for the YouTube poops, you know, I want this to be a year where it's like, wow, he put out some really good stuff that year. Like, that was a really good year. And then, you know, if you're here for the long-form video game retrospectives or the countdowns or whatever, you can also be like, oh, wow, that was a really good year for him. Like, he put out some really good stuff. I don't want to say I, like, focused on one more than the other last year, but, like, content was just so sparse in general that I just feel like I was starving my audience. Like, I fully deserved to lose a lot of viewership. But this year's gonna be different. A lot of, like, content that I've been working on throughout 2024 that was meant for 2024 has been pushed to this year. But the good news is that I'm sitting on top of a lot of, like, half-finished videos. Like, the big thing I'm working on right now is not... Okay, I guess I should talk about that first. The SpongeBob 1000 subscriber special, specifically the one about the Activision games, that's on hold for the time being. The main reason is that, like, I finished Plankton's Robotic Revenge on the Wii. I have notes written on that, and I've scripted a decent amount of it. But I also just don't... I don't want to write too much about it until I can play through Hero Pants, and the fact is that's a much harder game for me to get a hold of because I don't own a Wii U, I don't own an Xbox 360, I tried getting my hands on a, and I'm not even sure if it was backwards compatible with Hero Pants, but I was trying to get an Xbox One, but I bought one off of eBay, and it turned out to be completely non-functional. It gave me like a big error message. I got like 10 games with it, so at least I got the games. You know, at least those hopefully work. But I kind of got stiffed on eBay, which is fine. That's what I get for shopping on eBay. So, but I kind of decided to put the console shopping to one side, especially because, again, finances are pretty difficult. I didn't want to... I can't go throwing money around on consoles willy-nilly, especially for, you know, one game specifically, just one game. But I mean, the big thing is that I've had a hard time determining like the direction I want to take it in. I also kind of want to wait till maybe my production values are a bit better, or maybe I can at least hire like an editor, not like a video editor, but like more of an audio editor, because I'm sure it's obvious at this point, but my audio editing and mixing has not improved much at all since I started. I've tried my best to try and learn some stuff, like self-taught, but it's clear I need someone that has like an actual ear for it. And I kind of want to like do something special for it. I've kind of like pushed around the idea of maybe like bringing in like a special guest or something. Maybe like a skit, or like maybe even like a impromptu musical number, like just something ridiculous, like something fun. So it's kind of been kicked around, but like it's still in production. Like it has not been put on indefinite hiatus. It will come out eventually, but sadly a video that I can't confirm will be in 2025. But it is in the background. Like it is not gone anywhere. It will come out eventually. It just might end up being like, you know, like a 5,000 subscriber special, and we're just gonna have to all live with that. The SpongeBob YTP, meanwhile, is not as far along as I would want it to be, but I have my episode source, and I have plenty of ideas written up for it, but I've been having a hard time with YTPs too, because admittedly, recently, you know how like with people who draw, there's some people that do really well when you don't tell them what to draw, and some people do really well when you specifically tell them what to draw, because they can't really think of something on their own and like commit to it. I feel like I started off as like somebody who could kind of self-motivate with their own thing, and these days I've kind of fallen into, I need someone to put a source in front of me for me to really stick with it, which is why I've done like a lot of YTP collabs recently, but I haven't really made a lot of individual YTPs. I don't know if that makes sense, but that's just kind of where my head's at. But I do have my source for the SpongeBob one, and it is in production. It's slow going right now. I've been focusing more on trying to get like a long form video game thing out. And I guess really quick with just to wrap up talking about the YTPs, but I have a couple that are in various stages of production, and I've got like, I'm cycling between. There's the SpongeBob one. There's a Death Battle one that I've got, like, I'm writing ideas down for. I kind of wanted to make another one because it's been a while since that Joker versus Sweet Tooth one, which still is, honest to God, probably my favorite I've done. Just because it's just so niche that, like, I think to this day it's still like one of the only Death Battle YTPs that's ever been made, and I kind of want, like, it would be really funny and stupid if I like owned I cornered the Death Battle YTP market. I feel like that is just stupid enough, but also really funny enough where I would want to lay claim to that title, that position, if you will. And then the other one was there's a couple collabs. There's a singular collab that I have signed up for, that I will hopefully be a part of. I imagine I will be. I've got some pretty solid ideas for it, but I don't want to spoil it, because it's a long ways out anyway. Like the entries aren't due for that until like June or July, so I'm gonna kind of keep that in the back of my head and just fine-tune the ideas before I actually like execute those ideas, if that makes sense. Um, on the flip side, you've got the video game retrospectives, and I really had to do a double take because the last time I did a proper long form video game retrospective, or I actually called it that, was the Creature from the Krusty Krab one from like mid 2023. I think maybe like it was like April or May 2023, and like that's fine. Like that was a really good video. I'd like to think it was a good video, but I'm kind of sad I didn't. I think the problem was like the next one in my head was always going to be the Activision SpongeBob game one, which is why I kind of like took side steps to do like countdowns, some countdowns. But it's obvious now that the Activision one needs to kind of sit and wait in the background, which has kind of helped me get that through my head and work on other stuff with the knowledge that I will eventually get back to it. So in terms of the video games retrospectives and like long form reviews, because a few of what I've been working on are things that have come out recently. The big one I'm working on right now is a review of Super Mario Party Jamboree, which is, I want to say it's like halfway to being done. Like the script is done. Most like half of the recording is done. All the footage that I wanted to, I actually recorded all the footage myself off the Switch, which took a while because I had to deal with some screen tearing, but I eventually ironed it out. That video is going to be about 40 minutes total, at least 40 minutes. It's pretty long form. And I'm half tempted to not call it a review because I feel like whenever I call something a review, it just does worse. Because I remember that I did a Cosmic Shake video like a week after it came out. And it got such a shitty amount of views, and I don't want to be salty about that. But that's kind of, I guess I should talk about it. So I'm sure you guys, maybe you guys didn't notice because the game kind of went one ear and out the other. But there was a Patrick Star game that came out around the same time as Super Mario Party Jamboree and like Echoes of Wisdom. Like I think it was like October. Yeah, it was October. And I didn't even really talk about it. I didn't talk about it. I didn't play it day one. It took me a while to actually buy it. I wasn't really in the mindset for like a SpongeBob game. I feel like I am now. Especially once I'm done with the Super Mario Party video. That will probably be the next one I do. And I'm really interested to do it. I haven't even as of recording this on the 4th of January, I have the Patrick Star game downloaded. Like the icon is on my computer, but I have not played in a second of it because I want to record it. I want like a fresh playthrough, like I did with Cosmic Shake, and I kind of just want to make it unlike Cosmic Shake, where I just did like it was like a 15-minute long review. I kind of want to just give it the full retrospective treatment, even if it is I don't know if it's a stretch to. Can you call it a retrospective when the game only came out like 4 months ago? I mean, maybe. I mean, it just depends on your definition, but I kind of want to give it like the full treatment because I just feel like there isn't going to be much to talk about, at least based off the trailers. But I'm open to being proven wrong. I want nothing more than for SpongeBob games to be good. I was really happy that they like made some weird like physics game, like physics puzzle platformer game, because like that proves that like SpongeBob games are doing well enough that they're willing to experiment and do some weirder stuff. They're not just gonna make, more big budget 3D platformers like Cosmic Shake and Battle for Bikini Bottom, which are my favorite ones. But like variety is fun. I like the variety. Like in the 2000s, we got a lot of like weird spin-off game. Not spin-off. I mean, I guess you could call them spin-offs. Like the party games and the the dumb Kinect games and like a lot of handheld games. And I just think that kind of stuff is fun, even if it's not always going to be quality. Like it's a sign of a healthy franchise where like the big daddy corporation is like, all right, let's take some chances. Like, let's make more than one game every 5 years. So, I mean, I'm open to it. And then besides that, the only other one, and this was something that was kind of in like 2024 production as well, like during like starting in the summer, is I want to talk about Insane Aquarium, and that's just purely a me thing. Like that I'm fully prepared for that video to get no fucking views whatsoever. I'm gonna own it. I'm gonna call it. That's gonna be my worst performing video of the year. But it's super nostalgic, and I just want to talk about it. And I already have a script all written up for it, and I want to do it. Like that game is one of my favorites, or at least it's like a nostalgic favorite. And I even got like a thumbnail like fully commissioned already from Taco Draws, the guy who draws my avatars. That might, honest to God, be my favorite thing I've ever commissioned from him so far. And I want to put it to good use in just as a thumbnail, because I feel like that would be a really like awesome fucking thumbnail. I can't even lie. Like, it just looks cool. I'm sorry. Yeah, no, but that's kind of the roadmap. Is like, I want like a healthier split in what I release, and in general I want more uploads to really turn around like the stagnation that I've kind of had to deal with in 2024. And so, like, in terms of the Y2Ps, they'll kind of come out as they go along. I'm definitely planning on I better get more than like 3 out this year, because then that's just gonna be sad, like I did with 2024. But as far as video game retrospectives / reviews go, like, the order you can expect them in is Super Mario Party Jamboree, which will probably be ready to go in February. The Patrick Star game, which I will start playing pretty much as soon as the Super Mario Party review is done. And hopefully we can go for like a before summer release. Insane Aquarium, which hopefully will get a summer release, because that's not like a super long video from what I remember. And then hopefully I can get something else in there, and it might be the Activision game retrospective if things really pan out for me well. It might be something else. I kind of kicked around the idea of doing like one of the more infamous SpongeBob games that isn't the Activision games, like Legend of the Lost Spatula or Super Sponge or something that isn't actually that great. I also got like a 3DS copy of I forgot about this. I didn't even have it written down in my notes, but I have a 3DS copy, and I have the Wii copy at this point of what's that game called? SpongeBob SquigglePants. The like the WarioWare, I don't even know, like the game that used like the U-Draw tablet, and then the 3DS version just like doesn't have any weird peripherals. It just works on the 3DS. I really want to talk about that game because, like, I played that, I think, last year, and that was, honest to God, so much fun. Like, that was actually, like, it wasn't, like, amazing, but it was, like, surprisingly fun from what I was expecting. And, like, maybe that'll be the next one, because, like, I imagine that'll be another short video. I don't know, I'm kind of spitballing right now, guys. I like, the point is, I still have so many ideas that I want to put in action, and so much content I want to make for you guys, because I just feel like I've got a lot to say, and I feel like people want to, I don't want to be like egotistical, but I feel like people want to hear me talk about these, like, especially the SpongeBob games, because Lord knows I've gotten a fair amount of requests even after the Creature from the Krusty Krab video. Like, that was the biggest fish to fry, but don't think that the requests stopped after that. Like, they're still there. I've got the receipts. And I just I'm interested because I want to see if I can, like, I'm not here to validate people, but I want to see if games are as good as people say, or as shitty as people say they are, or even throw something completely different in the mix. And keep in mind, it's not all, like, I've got some other, like, weird one-off ideas, like, in my little video video idea list where I'm like, maybe it just depends on like how everything lines up. Like I on my list, there's like, I want to talk about Death Battle. Like specifically, I want to talk about Death Battle in a way that nobody else has talked about, where like I can kind of talk about the whole show without like doing it the way everyone else does, where they just like review and rank every single individual episode. Like it's like, oh, ranking every Death Battle season 1 episode. And like, don't get me wrong, like that stuff's great. Like I've seen enough Biffweed and Nemesis and Jonathan Joestar. What, I don't remember. I think that's his name. I've seen enough of those videos. Like I love that kind of shit. But it's a case of like, if I as much as I could just do the same thing, I feel like that would be really fucking boring. So I kind of want to do something different, but I also don't want to say it out loud because I don't want to risk one of those guys getting that video out before me. Because Lord knows they will, and I'll have to live with it. I had like a Total Drama Island power scale tier list, which just sounds really funny. I mean, have you ever thought about Total Drama characters like that? I haven't. Until I did, and then my whole preconceived notion of these characters changed forever. You know, except for Eva. You know, we already kind of knew she was like a Terminator in a weave. Is that no? That's not good. Is that good to say? I'm gonna cut that out. I don't know if is that bad to say. It's 5 a.m. so I'm kind of just. I'm like tiredly spouting off stupid shit, and I'm just trying not, you know, okay, well, I'll, see, this is what happens. This is why videos take too long. Yeah. As far as everything else goes, I'm not gonna lie, like, if this year is not, like, my big... I'm gonna put my best foot forward for this channel this year, and if things kind of fall flat, like, if I really feel like I gave it my best, and it doesn't really pan out, like, this might be, I might decide to throw in the towel of YouTube and try to do something else with my life, because as much as I love this channel, it really did become super exhausting to work on, and it became demoralizing when, you know, stuff just wasn't popping off as much as I wanted it to, which I know sounds really, like, ungrateful. I guess that's probably the right word, but like I said, I work a 40-hour job at a grocery store, which, especially these last couple months, has been absolutely nightmarish, because the grocery store... I work at a Publix, and the Winn-Dixie right down the street closed on October, so all of a sudden all that all that business that was spread across 2 stores suddenly came down on 1. And I specifically work in the liquor store portion, so I was getting absolutely obliterated throughout Thanksgiving, Christmas, oh my god, New Year. Like, things only like, today was the first slow day I've had. And I'm grateful for that, and it makes me feel like, alright, now I can, like, I'm not gonna come back from home. I'm not gonna come back home from work completely exhausted and, you know, without the will to work on anything. But... you know, it's still trying, because nothing's opening up in that Winn-Dixie spot until like a few months down the road. Yeah, I'm sorry, I'm not trying to like rattle off about my day job. Like, I'm sure none of you want to hear about this. I don't want to hear about this, because this is meant to be like my fun time. It's meant to be like my fun, work on your hobby time outside of work. Be happy. But no, I mean, I'm a much more exhausted person than I was back in, like, compared to where I was in, like, 2022, 2023. And I'm fine with that. You know, I realize I'm not, you know, Like, I'm sure we're all a lot more tired than we were 2 or 3 years ago because of a lot of different factors. Like, you know, I mean, just one example, my, a online acquaintance, we'll say, and a fellow YouTuber friend, Dove, of the Mistress Dove YouTube channel, she got her YouTube channel, like, wrongly reported and removed from the site on a whim. Like, no warning, just... boop, boop. It's gone. That was not comforting. A lot of us, you know, in her little circle, kind of mobilized to spread the word around and, you know, try and get YouTube's like the 5 people who still work at YouTube to look at this mistake and fix it, because YouTube these days is just run by a bunch of robots that don't really know what they're looking for and kind of seem to hate creators. It's a little fucked up. You know, that's just me. That's just my humble opinion. I'm sure I'll be next on the YouTube, you know, channels that mysteriously disappear one day. But that was a whole thing, and obviously, you know, it was... I didn't do as much as some of the others, but it was still like, you know, I wanted to be there for my friend and just try to get her mind off of, you know, try to give the group some confidence that this was going to get fixed. You know, and this was all during, like, right before New Year's Eve, so it's like you come home from work super exhausted, and then you're trying to, like, provide morale to, like, hey, let's, you know, like, come on, we're gonna get this fucking channel back. Like, don't give up. Spread it around. Like, we all have friends. Spread it around. Yeah, I'm really tired. I'm sorry. Nobody's gonna watch this. Nobody's gonna watch this far. I could say whatever I want. I could talk about how much I don't like people who dislike Sonic Heroes. Yeah, that's right. I'm sure you... Yeah, fuck you. Anyway, alright, I'm just rambling. I'm sorry. But the point is, 2025, I am more accustomed to what I need to be doing. I'm not making any... You know, I'm like, if something gets too out of control, I'm planning on just putting it on the back burner and just focusing on a different project. That was one of my biggest mistakes in 2024. I'm not doing that this time. You can expect more video game retrospectives, more YTPs, you know, a few AMVs and little fun side stuff on the side. But, you know, not like the sole focus where it's like, oh, you're going to get like one little AMV and it's going to, you know, be 3 months in between like actual videos. Like, I'm not doing that shit. Because that's lame. Nobody wants that. Like, I'm here to actually give you guys a good show, whether it be through stupid bullshit or more thoughtful stuff. I'm here for both. But I hope you guys stick around. You know, I feel like I can still bounce back if I just go at it with everything I've got. But I mean, I would really appreciate if I could just maybe get, you know, well, like, I'm not asking for it now. I'm definitely not asking for it now because I actually want to, like, prove I've got the legs for it. But, like, once I start putting out, like, the content for this year, if you guys really do enjoy it, you know, I'd really appreciate you guys spreading it around and maybe recommending my channel to some people. I don't want to do a Patreon or a Ko-Fi yet. I really want to prove that my channel can be consistent in terms of both the quality and the actual upload dates. And maybe, like, wait till my channel gets to a little nice subscriber milestone. Like, again, like 5K or maybe even just like 2K at this point. I wouldn't be picky. And maybe I would consider doing a Ko-Fi, since you don't have to commit monthly. You can just kind of... People can just kind of come and go when they want. I mean, let me know. Let me know what you guys think. I'm definitely leaning more on the Ko-Fi thing than Patreon, but maybe I'll get to a point where I do both. But if I'm going to do one to start at a certain point, then it would probably be the Ko-Fi. I'm trying to think of anything else. I'm not gonna play as much Marvel Rivals. Marvel Rivals kind of took over my life for the last couple weeks. I had a lot of fun. I mean, I still am having fun, but don't play that game. Don't play competitive. Just don't play competitive at all, under any circumstance. Especially if you're solo queuing, but just in general, don't ignore that first part. Just don't do it in general if you want to retain your basic sense of humanity and respect for other individuals, because otherwise you will lose your mind like I have. And there wasn't much left. But yeah, I mean, that's kind of it. And like I said, I'm kind of slapdashing this to just get the word out, lay my cards on the table. Everyone knows it's like I'm not sugarcoating anything. Like 2024 was shitty, and I can't guarantee 2025 will be like amazing, but it will be better. And this will be the year where I really try to put YouTube first and not be as stagnant as I have been. And I hope you guys will stick around. I really do. But yeah, I don't want to waffle on much longer. So thank you guys. If you guys watch this, I really appreciate it. Let me know what you think. Let me know what you want to see. Let me know what you would be interested in seeing. Let me know what of what I said you would be most interested in watching. Like, I actually want to hear feedback about this. Like, do not be shy with the comments. Please do not be shy with the comments. I crave comments. Especially from that, like, guy with the Donkey Kong profile picture who, like, posts the timestamps of my videos of when I upload them. I don't know why he does that, but, like, he's the one guy that sticks around with me. He's like, it's like having a little scribe with me, and it's kind of adorable, but also like weirdly charming and endearing. But I not every person. I don't need every person to do that, but just please comment. Tell me what you thought of this. Tell me what you think of this update, and what you want. What do you want? What do you want from me? Alright. I think that's it for me. This has been Baileography. I wish you all my very best. All that fancy stuff. I will see you guys real soon with an actual video. I promise. Bye.